but it is what it is. I got to make a living. Okay. So my name's Ken Finnan, and my job is to get you past all the exams. And the number one question I get before I do my live, so I'm hoping to save some time and make it less chaotic, is what do I do? I'm taking the test tomorrow or 2 weeks or whatever it is. So let's, first of all, if you're taking it tomorrow, too late, you're fucked. Okay. No, I'm kidding around. Get some sleep. If you're taking it tomorrow, you should not be on my live. You should be getting sleep and you should be going over customer accounts. Literally any exam you take, literally any exam, you should probably read customer accounts. I have crash course videos you can watch, playlists you can watch. Go watch those and get some sleep. If you have a significant other, make sure they do the right thing or ask them to do the right thing. And you don't want to make them do anything, but you ask them. Just massage. That's all I'm talking about. Just keep it relaxed. No fighting, stuff like that. Now, if you're taking it beyond tomorrow, so if you're taking it tomorrow, what are you doing out here? Get off here, click and get out of here. If you're taking it beyond tomorrow, so let's say you're taking it in 2 days. Tomorrow is no testing. It's adding knowledge, reading customer accounts, going over videos, hopefully my crash course videos or others. Bottom line is you don't want to stress yourself out. You don't want to take a test. I'm not a fan of testing. Some people like it. I disagree with it because if you go bad, there's no upside. If it goes bad for you, you're screwed. So I say, don't take a test tomorrow. Take it easy. Around dinner time, you're done. I don't care if you're taking the test at 5 o'clock at night. At dinner time, you're done. Okay? Don't do anything. Again, the night before is always kind of go out to dinner. Don't go, pounding, going fireballs, but just literally go out to dinner, maybe talk to people who aren't involved in it, who don't care about the test, don't want to hear it. You want to do stuff that just relax you. If you have SDC or Notman, they have these little sheets that you can go through. Maybe the day before, make sure you go over it like hot sheets or key topic stuff or crunch time facts. Again, I have crash course playlists, a whole playlist on almost every test you can take. Now, let's say you're taking it more than 2 days out. So what you want to do is within the up to, but not including the last, I don't even know if that's right. The last 8 to 10 days is testing. Okay. Before that, you're reading and quizzing and testing, all that. A lot of focus on reading, mostly focus on reading, watching videos, adding knowledge. But in the last 8 days, not including the day before, so whatever that is, so 10 days before, you're going to take tests every day. One test, not two. If it's a 63 of the SIE, maybe you can take two. But again, I don't think it works that well. Oh, I feel the heat on my back. I really just want to turn around and take a dive. The problem is when I go in there, there's a manatee warning. The boats have to go around me. I have to wear a flag saying manatee, don't hit me, stuff like that. Now, up to but not including the day before the test, you are to take one final a day. Now, remember something. When you do a final, review the whole thing, not just the wrong answers. And what you're going to do is you're going to kind of do a triage. There's really 3 or 4 choices. You look them over. If you got it right for the right reason, you're good. Move on. Make sure you read the answer why. Okay. 2, if you got it right for the wrong reason, mark that down. You have to review it because if you got it right because you guessed, that's just as bad as a wrong. Almost more dangerous, right? Because you think you got it. 2, if you got it wrong because you misread it, which happens with the Kaplan, Past Perfect, STC, even Achievable, all of them you can misread it. If you get it wrong because you misread it, but you knew the concept, don't worry about it. The last one is you got it wrong because you didn't know your shit. That you have to review. So really, you're going to have 4 choices, mark them all. And then if you got it right for the right reason or wrong because you misread it, but you understand the concept, don't worry about it. The ones you have to review are the ones you got right for the right reason. And then the ones you got for the wrong reason, the ones you got for the wrong reason. See, when I talk too fast, my brain is here, my mouth is here, and they're not in conjunction. And then ones you got right for the wrong reason, like guessing, and then you got to be honest with yourself. Don't be like, oh, I think I know it. Or the ones you got wrong for the right reason. I guess the right reason to be wrong, you don't know it. If you're starting to memorize questions, buy another QBank. STCS 4 supplemental exams. If you want, buy Kaplan. But again, you don't want to add a new QBank in the last few days. You want to do it out so you can literally get used to the question because you don't want to switch it up the day before. Again, you need to go in there like a badass. You need to go into the test like I'm going to fucking own this shit and you're going to run it, okay? You got to go in there confident. You got to understand that if you go in there confident, if you go into this test as a confident badass, not cocky, confident, I know my shit, then when you see a hard question, you're going to go, oh, I can do this, okay? And you can work through it or even mark for review, shit like that. If you go in there where you're not sure and you're like, oh, I'm afraid, then every hard question is going to look to you like, see, I knew I should have waited. And that's a bad thing because you won't try it. I've seen that so many times where if you give someone positive confirmation of good work, they're willing to work a little bit harder on the question. If you're like, oh, I'm not ready, they go, oh, I knew I wasn't ready. They give up. We don't want give up. We want you to attack it like you know your shit. Okay. And that's literally it. You maybe want to watch some of my exam walkthrough videos during my live, but not the night before. I don't want to see you the night before. I want to see you after you pass so we can play a song for you and blow it out your ass. Okay. Good. Okay. Everyone, go beat this thing. You got this. I believe in you. I 100% believe in you. And you need to say every morning, get up in the morning, brush your teeth with your offhand, even if you want to brush your teeth with your foot, and keep saying, I'm going to pass this. I'm going to pass this. Say it like 10 times with confidence. Not I need to pass it. Not I got to pass it. I'm going to pass it. That's your goal. Go beat this thing. We got it, baby. There we go. Welcome on. It's Thursday. Happy NASA night. And obviously, since I didn't do Tuesday night because I was running with the Gators, I will we will do we'll entertain some Series 7 questions if they're on here, but it's mostly NASA night. We'll go from there and we'll figure it out. Okay. Good stuff. Okay. Let's get into this. For a couple of things before we even started, a little cleanup. I know it's 8:09, but if you need extra resources, right? If you need some resources other than just, the free stuff between the FINRA Facebook, the Facebook group and all that shit, go check out Achievable. They're super cheap. They're good. They're cheap. They're good. All that shit. It's really solid stuff. And they have an AI in there that they don't push that much, but it's pretty good. I've tried it out. They also have a
lose your train of thought there?
Yeah, because Tyler just emailed me about something about the trip. Because I totally lost my train of thought. Because Tyler of Each Evil just emailed me about the trip. Anyway, if you go to Chivo.me, I have a link for it. If you look at almost all my videos, I have a link for that. Plus STC, both of them you get a discount. And then if you need tutoring, obviously we now have how many tutors now?
Including you?
No, just throw me out of there.
Okay, so then it's 1, 2, 3. Let me see here. Hang on a second. 1, 2,
right.
3, 4.
Right.
Four tutors up there,
and then me. So it's 5 tutors at all different ranges of prices. Yeah. And if you need the 79, we got a guy, Mason, who's just rocking that shit. He's destroying it. He has so many of my students passing that 79 already.
So we have everything from SIE 6, 7, 24, even 63, 65, 66, 79.
Yep. And then this is what we did. You had one last night, right?
Yes.
Where we have another thing where if you don't need the full boat tutoring and you just need help with, if this isn't enough and you need somebody to sit with you and create a personalized plan, not selling you anything. We don't push anything up, but you do pay for it. How much was it? $25 for 20 minutes or?
Yeah.
You just come on. And it's a phone call. He walks you through. He likes to talk, so he'll end up probably going more than 20 minutes because he wanted to make sure you get off with the right stuff. Get off. That's what she said. And it's good stuff. We already had somebody sign up for it yesterday.
Yep.
I think it helped him out because it sent him on the right direction, right?
Exactly.
And he felt.
It's more about, getting the plan, how long should you read the book for, how, the questions, what to focus on. We were talking about momentum during the exam, like how much time to spend on a question, if you start getting stuck, depending on which exam you're taking. So it was for this one individual. This is somebody who had taken it before, missed by a couple questions. We started to back into where they might have missed answer, where they might have got hung up on the test. So it was a great session.
Right. I think it was good. And it's a guy I had met maybe a long time ago. He watched videos and he just needed some direction. He didn't need a full-on tutoring session. He just wanted, 25, 30 minutes, 40 minutes just to figure out the right direction to go. It's great. It's a good service. If you don't need and I'm Series7exam.org. If you need another tutor who's great for the NASA shit, Michael Weiss over at Series 7 Exam Tutor.com. He's also on Reddit, and he helps me moderate the Facebook group, which is FINRA and NASAA Exam Test Prep Network. I don't know if I have a link for it somewhere. I probably do, but here is the name of it. Is scrolling across. It'll go back to Jeff in a minute. If you need help, if you guys need direction on what to do, just email Jeff. If you want a long drawn out conversation, just book the thing. It's $25. What is that? I mean, it's $5 bills. That's not much. Okay. Now, so Levi, yes, since I didn't do Tuesday night because I was in New Orleans having a great fucking time, I don't remember most of it. I did bring home, you know what? Have you ever been to New Orleans, Jeff?
No.
So you have to come when we go. So now, they have a thing called a hand grenade, which is, I don't know what the fuck's in it, but it's a big frozen drink about that big, and you get to walk home with this hand grenade thing. I just gave it to the grandkids. So,
well, but if you drank what was in it, though.
What?
But you drank what was in it.
Of course I did, and I rinsed it out. There's no, I think it's bourbon or rum. I don't know. It's fucking hard. It hits you. It's one of those where you drink it fast. It's cold. It's iced, right?
Yep.
And then you're like, oh, I'm good. You're about to have another. You're like, oh, it just hit me. So, but Bourbon Street's a lot of fun. Okay. And there was some good stuff in the conference, which I'll do videos on at some point. Okay. So yeah, you can do SIE questions. Since I didn't do Tuesday night, I did miss doing it, but I was having a good time, and that's really what goes on. Okay. 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 Let's go. Let's see with this. So now, what you take your 6 next week? What are the things I should write on my dump sheet? Okay. On the 6, there's not so many dump sheets. Like, I don't worry about the option stuff. I mean, maybe you put, the bond triangle just to have it. Maybe slobs over bliss. And I would put the formulas for the NAV and POP, right? Like it's POP minus NAV divided by POP. That's a percentage. And if you just need the sales charge, it's POP minus NAV. Remember the POP percentage is, it's a sales charge percentage is out of the POP, not out of the NAV. So if they say, oh, you have a 50-cent sales charge, you don't divide by the NAV, divide by the POP. Keep that. Okay. There's not a lot of dump sheet stuff for that one. Okay. Let's see. Oh, good. I love it. That's awesome. I love when people do multiple vendors. And we did talk about that at the panel. And one of the things we were talking about was if you're going to switch vendors to add another vendor, right? Which you don't want to read different books. One book is fine because they really do teach, whether it's Achievable, Notman, STC, or Past Perfect, the books are covered. They cover everything. It's the same material, just attacked a different way. But if you want to do different questions, right? If you want to do questions, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea to just add another question bank. So we'll see what happens. Okay. And I had a long conversation with Todd at STC about some stuff. So I'm hoping there's going to be some breaks there with some products we offer, which will help. Okay. Now, Mondo. Chapters 1 through 8. That's a tough question, Mondo Marino. Young OG, baby. How are you? Young OG. Yeah, you know me. Now, yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, you got to know. Big picture, you got to know the broker dealer. You got to know the IA. You got to know all those, the IAR and the broker agent, stuff like that. I can't go over all of them. I'll be here till 9 o'clock. No, we'll be here forever. Like you have to know that the broker dealer registers with all 3. You have to know that the agent registers with just FINRA in the state. You have to know the IA does state or state or federal, never both. IAR is state only if they have to. You have to know the difference between a qualification and coordination and with exempt securities versus exempt transactions. The first 5 or 6 videos in my playlist for whatever test you're taking cover a lot of those. So that's the way to go with it. And if you do need more help and you guys are struggling, remember, we have a membership thing. That's Friday nights. It's literally $25 a month. That's what, $6 a lesson, $6 a class. Best bargain on fucking Wall Street, right? Every 6 p.m. every Friday, we go over only Series 65, 66, and 63 stuff. It's pretty good. Usually groups are around 5 to maybe 10 people, sometimes 15, but never really more than that. Okay, that's good. Okay. Now, again, normally I don't do Series 7 stuff on here. However, because I missed last Tuesday in a drunken pile of mush, we're going to take some of these. Okay. taking the E Series 7 with a firm they've already studied 6 hours a day, or going through the book now, going through it again. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It's really debt, options, and suitability, and everything always has a tax swing on it. Like, how does the taxes affect it, stuff like that. So munis, but think debt in general, options, suitability, and then always think about the taxes. Now, here's my big thing before you take any exam, the SA7 or even the 65 ones. You want to kind of go through the customer count stuff. The 60 exams, it's much more about the ethics and trust and estates. Where on the FINRA exams, it's much more about opening accounts and options accounts and stuff like that. Okay. Young OG, she's done with all this shit. She keeps coming back. Okay. Okay, this is easy stuff, okay? So qualified versus not qualified. I mean, they all kind of have the same attitude, right? So qualified means the money goes in pre-tax, which means you don't pay tax on it when you put it in. So then when you take the money out, you pay tax on everything, okay? Because if you put 20 grand in now on a qualified annuity, you don't pay taxes on it. You got to pay tax at some point. It's going to grow tax deferred. And let's say it's 100 grand in 20 years, you're going to pay tax on the whole 100, okay? That's you're going to pay tax on the whole 100 grand. However, it's a non-qualified annuity. It's not deductible. So when you put the 20 grand in, you've already paid taxes on it. So as it grows, you don't pay taxes as it grows, just like the qualified. But when you take it out, you pay tax on the growth on a LIFO basis. So in a qualified annuity, goes in pre-tax, grows tax deferred, you pay tax on everything. Non-qualified goes in after tax, grows tax deferred, both of them do. But when you take it out, you don't pay tax on the growth. And they take it out on a LIFO basis, which means last in, first out, which means the growth comes out before the principal. Okay. NO was awesome. New Orleans was amazing. I got there early. The conference started on Sunday night. I paid for a jazz band, which was very cool. I don't love jazz, but 25 minutes of it was great. I have some of my videos, I have it in there. I have a ton of videos of that stuff. Good. I did the swamp tour, which was great. I got to see probably like 30 or 40 different gators. I have videos of them. And then as you're coming up to us, he goes, they can jump 3 feet out of the water. I'm like, I'm measuring the chain. I'm on a little, those airboats, right? Those little tiny airboats we're on. It's like, like 6 or 7 of us. They have the big ones, but the little ones, I'm like, we're on the water. Like when he goes fast, we're getting hit by the water, which is cool.
And aren't they real thin? Like the boats?
Yeah. They're not. Yeah, I mean, it's not like skiing, but it's like, I think we were probably about that far off the water.
You're skimming the water.
Yeah, we're right on top. Yep. It's fun. I mean, there was some big ass gators, but they know. I mean, it's a private reserve. I mean, it's big. They know. I think that this is what it is. So I don't think they're going to jump in the boat, but I think if you're in the water, they're coming. What the weirdest part was, you see one, and he's coming to the boat because he didn't get the marshmallows, right? And all of a sudden, you see out of the corner of your eyes, you see 4 coming where you had no idea fucking gators were. So it's like, wow. I mean, at some point, they're fighting over the marshmallows and stuff. It's cool. Kind of like grandkids fighting over marshmallows. Okay. Now, any suggestions? I'm completely close to the 65 on Analytical. Okay. Yeah, listen. I know. Wait, do you have this? Wait, answer me this. You don't have all? I mean, this is a question. I doubt you do, but do you have your CFA? If you do, and you need to know that, but I'm going to answer this stuff. On the exam, it's very basic stuff. Like, what does time value of money do? Like, one of the questions would be like, if you win the lottery, do you take the money up front or take it at the end? Right? Not asking you if you do it, but they're saying that discussion is what? That's about the time value of money. Is money now is worth more than money later. That's time value of money, okay? And how do we figure that out? We take the future value and then we discount it back to today. You don't have to do the math most of the time. Once in a while, somebody has to do the math, but I have a video, time value of money, where it shows you how to do it. So all you're doing is you're taking the future value, discounting it back, discounting cash flow, that's the idea, and bringing it back to today's dollar to decide if you should invest it or not. So that's DCF, okay? So future value is what an investment now will be in the future. Present value is what you have to deposit now to get to a future value you have. So to get present value, you need future value, rate of return, and time. To get future value, you need present value rate of return in time. So basically, you're just doing both. Okay, it's just either going down or up. Now, let's say you come up with a present value of like $800, and the market value is actually $780. That's a good thing because you're buying it below where it's supposed to be, the present value. So that's a positive NPV. And that's what happens. If you buy it above the present value, then it's a negative NPV, and you shouldn't buy it. Now, the other thing you talked about was correlation. This is easy. Correlated assets are bad, right? So if you want to diversify, you do not want correlated assets because they move together. You want them moving apart. You don't even want really negative correlation, which some of the books say. You want non-correlated. That's the goal. Non-correlated assets. So like a 0 means you're not correlated. That's like perfection. A correlation of 1 means they move in lockstep together. Correlation of -1 means they move opposite. Now, you'd think that would be good, but think about it. If I have a -1 correlation, that means for every 10% I make on one, I lose 10%. I can't make money that way. So I want not, because if I make $100, I lose $100. I'm nothing. Kissing your sister, it's literally nothing. So you want a non-correlated, even like a -0.1 is fine, but -1 is bad, and so is +1. They're both bad. I mean, they're not diversified. And that happens sometimes because what happens is you think, oh, I'm going to buy bonds and preferreds. Well, let's say I do bonds, preferreds, and utilities. Oh, I'm diversified. You're not. All of them are interest rate risk sensitive. So basically, all you did was have different things with the same risks. So that doesn't diversify you. If you're doing bonds, preferreds, and like in utility stocks, they're all very heavily interest rate laden. So that means they all react to interest rates kind of the same way. So it sounds like you're diversified, but you're not. And they call that factor analysis, where they're looking at the risks, not the products, the risks. So we have interest rate risk. So we already have that with the bond. So we're not going to do preferreds. We're not going to do utilities. We're going to buy like a growth stock or a value stock or something like that. You're trying to avoid similar risks because you don't want them to react the same way. Okay. Hope that helps a little bit. Okay. She laughs at all my stuff, which is great. She's my best audience ever. Okay. There you go. If you have questions, reach out to Jeff at Kappa Advantage Tutoring. If you have questions about the membership, about his how to study, what are we calling it?
Custom study plan.
Custom study plan. So if you look on the website and you want to book it, just look for hit book other tutors, and in there for now he'll have his own button in a couple of days, and just hit the button and get you get a custom study plan just for you. And I'm not saying this, but at some point you can probably, every once in a while, you can throw them a text and go, hey, this isn't working, or it is. Okay. Now, okay, I can do this. This is definitely an old exam. So, especially the SIE, it could be on the 65. Now, mutual funds want to advertise. So, but they don't want to pay for it. So what they do is they take it out of your return in the form of a 12B1 fee. So 12B1 fee has a max of 1%. Now, if I remember right, I don't think this is testable, but it's like 0.75 is marketing of a percent and 0.25 is service. So they technically could charge 1%. But for the marketing and advertising, it's 0.75. No, I can't believe it right now. Here you go. Okay, I'll put the rope on your nose. Okay, so now I have the dog staring at me. Now, if I have a 12B1 fee, so would they charge it every year? It has nothing to do with the sales charge, but it's part of the management charges. So it's part of the what do they call them? Getting old, I can't think of it. Management, not management fees. Expense ratio. That's what it is. Okay. Management fees, 12B1 fees, all that stuff is part of the expense ratio. Now, if you buy Class A shares, since you're paying a sales charge up front, the 12B1 fee is very low. If you buy Class B shares, you pay on the way out, and every year you stay into it, it drops, but the 12B1 fee is going to be somewhere in the middle. In Class C shares, since they're not charging you a sales charge, they have to get you somehow, so the 12B1 fee is the max. Now, and remember that this is the king. A no-load fund has no sales charge up front, but it can charge a 12B1 fee, but not more than 0.25% or 25 basis points. That's really what it was, okay? Now, what was I going to say? I was going to add to this. So a Class A shares is for long-term. B shares is for mid to long with no money. Oh, and A shares is for people who have a lot of money because there's break points. The more you put in, the less you pay. C shares is for short term, like under 5 years, because you're paying no sales charge, but you're paying a 12B1 fee every year. Okay. Now, in reality, for you guys, real world, yeah, that's 12B1 fee is like, you see the green line, or on the commercials, or the lion for Vanguard. I think it's Vanguard, right? Or MetLife has Snoopy, shit like that. Those, that's part of it, but really it's about paying off the financial advisors. That's the trailing commissions you get. So if you put somebody in a mutual fund and your assets under management, you're going to get the sales charge, whatever it is. And then every quarter, you're going to get a little check for like, $500 or $1,000 if they put a lot of money in. So that's a 12B1 fee. It's a lot about the trailing fees. That's why eventually you always, as Jeff's big thing is, you really should be heading toward the 65 route always, because commission is fine. But it ends if you don't do a transaction. Getting management fees and ongoing fees is an annuity. You get it forever. And if you do an okay job, you keep them and you get their fucking kids. You get them forever. You're getting paid forever. And remember, the whole point of the 65, 66 end of it, the IAR, if you make more money for them, you make more money. Because if you grow them from 10 to 15 million, your 1% is at a 15 million now when it was 10 million. So it does help.
And just remember, if you're in this business, you're building a relationship one way or the other. You might as well have it work for you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
And then make sure that hey, Devin, if you're still on, make sure you stay on, because you raised an interesting question that Ken and I talked about. So go ahead. Okay.
So now, Kimberly, I did talk about the net present value a little bit. Remember, present value is what a future value should be now. Like a bond, $1,000 bond in 3 years at 5% should be trading about $853 now. Okay, just about ballpark. Okay, so if it's below that, it has a positive NPV. If it's above it, as a negative. Remember, NPV and PV are not the same thing. Okay. Yeah, even though you're being a dick about it, Michael, I will answer it. They are supposed to approve them promptly by the end of the day. There you go. Because I can't say what he's doing, but he sees a lot of people looking for the 4 and the 53 and stuff. Okay. Okay. Boom, Jennifer. That's awesome. Congrats. Oh, hold on. I got to play a little bit, right? This is a good one. I love it. That's one of my favorites. Okay, so now. And listen, so on the 63, this is the one test that I'm like, read the book twice, read it once, then read it again, and then just do tests until your eyes bleed. But make sure you have ethics and on the 63 especially, make sure you have ethics and predictivities down pat. Okay. Lucia. Okay. I assume that's Monday. Okay. Boom. Okay. That's fine. So I would take a test every day, but not Sunday. Sunday, watch a crash course, read customer accounts, go watch the crash course, read customer accounts, go to Achievable and get there. I think they have a cheat sheet you can look at. It can't hurt. Go to my exam walkthrough, find the video where I go take it. I think I just call it SIE exam questions and answers. It's like right the first one in the exam walkthrough playlist. Cool. Okay. It's going to help. You're gonna rock this thing. If you're passing the past perfect stuff, you'll be fine. Just keep it very simple and don't overthink. That's the hardest part. Okay. Boom. Yeah. Again, gear grinder with the dishes. Okay, I love it. Okay, you got to do your dishes earlier, man. Okay. Whoa, that's awesome. Boom, Keone. Okay, you got to tell me how to say that name. What are you saying, Keone? Or K-E-O-N-I if it's Hawaiian. K-O-N-I, right? Could be that. I wish I had a Hawaiian thing for it, but I don't. But I do have. You'll never take me alive. I'm getting high with my 4-5. Dropped on these suckers time I die, even as a young. Boom, baby. That's awesome. Keone Hall. That is awesome. Okay. Okay. Gear Grinder, I can't wait for your questions. Okay, Dawn. Here's the thing. This is the biggest problem. Okay, 1, email Jeff. He'll help you. But 2, If you paid for it, okay. So my option class is on Zoom. So remember, my classes on Friday nights are on Zoom. So what you do is make sure notifications are on, and around 4 p.m. Eastern, my link goes out because I change the link every week, supposedly. I change the link every week. So about 4 o'clock, you get the link, you log in, you go there, and we meet at 7 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're running into trouble, email Jeff, and he can probably try to help you. Also, this is the big one. Okay. This is the big one. Make sure that when you sign up on the account that you normally use. A lot of people, look at my crappy my Instagram Series 7 Westware. It says none, but I have almost 3,000 people in, which is fucking crazy. Okay, so now, and then my TikTok Series 7 Westware just crossed 22 grand. Okay, now, I got 1 million share video. I got another 300,000. I got another one that's pushing 100 real quick. Then a lot of other 30, 40, 50s. Okay. So here's what happens. A lot of people email, they go, I don't see the notifications. And I go, are you on the same YouTube account? And a lot of people have maybe multiple YouTube accounts, or on their sisters or daughters or brothers, husbands, wives, whatever. And they don't realize, or they signed up on the wrong one. So always check which one you sign up on. And that's 99%. I haven't had it happen yet where it's not been that. And here's the thing. So Dawn, if you can't get into it, what you do is do me a favor, shoot me a DM on like Friday. If you can't get into it, Jeff can help you. On Friday around, don't do it at 6 because I won't be able to look. But if you do like 5:30, 5:45, send me a message on Facebook through the group. And if you send me a picture that you're in the group, I can send you the link. But also make sure you're at the right level. To be in the options classes, you have to be the highest level. That's option class level. That's at $50 a month. But remember, for the 50, you get the options class, the FINRA class, all the recording videos, and this options videos, which will blow your mind, which I assume you know already. Okay, here we go. Sue Tenorio. Okay. Oh, Devin. Okay, got it. Is that the black eye question you're talking about? Or you had a different question? Devin asked this. Is this the one we were talking about?
Yes, this is the question.
Okay, let me get to Tenorio. It's Sue's. Okay. Okay, so I would take 3 weeks for the 6. That'll give you 2 weeks for the because you don't have time to take them twice anyway. So let's go from one time. Get the 6 done by June 25th. That'll give you 2 weeks for the 7, including a holiday. That'll help. I think that works.
It's further down.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So again, So Devin, make sure you're on here. So Sue, I think if you try to take the 6 by the 20, 21st, 25th, somewhere around there, maybe pick a Monday. I love those. Then you'll be like, even if you want to take it, I think Juneteenth, I don't know what day that is. I don't know if it's always a Monday or not, but whatever it is. Sometimes I like people taking a day after a holiday because nobody's going to bug you on a holiday. So, yeah, I think your best bet is try to take by between the 20th and 25th. That'll give you 13 days for the 63, which is more than enough. That's your best bet. Okay. That's all right. Way to never give up, Devin. I love the attitude. You fucking fall, you get right up. It's as Rocky said, it's not how hard you can get hit. It's how hard you can hit. It's how hard you can get hit and still get up. Okay. Oh, this is the question. Okay. This is why I'm saying stop answering questions, okay? Don't take fucking notes. But it's funny. I said something at when I was at the vendor thing, right? The panel we were doing. And the one thing I said is if you fail, the first thing you have to do, and these are all, remember, these people are regulators and all FINRA people and all the registration people from other firms who deal with this. And I was talking to the other vendors beforehand, and we all agree that that's the way to go. And after you fail, what's the one thing I tell everyone to do? Read the fucking book. Read it again, right? So I said that, and I heard a collective groan from everyone in the audience. Every single person like, ugh, because they don't want to tell the people that, right? They don't want to tell people that. So I even told them one of my best videos is at least on TikTok, is my "What If I Fail" video because it's a big fucking deal. So stop taking notes. Start trying to read everything as in who would want it, who wouldn't. So this is my bigger one. If you think a customer needs to know it, you need to understand it. If you think a customer doesn't need to know it, just kind of know the concept. So focus on have in your head a fake person like, Mary and Joe, or biblical, right? And then Jesus, right? So Mary and Joe, you have them out there and just say, okay, how would Mary be where would she want an annuity? Okay. Mary wants, Mary's 55. She has all her shit topped off. She needs money for life. Okay, so that's an annuity. And she's under 60 or under 55, you do a variable. If she was 70, you might do a fixed. Oh, because she can't take the risk. Always think about the people and what risks they can take, and that'll help. Try to think that way all the time. And remember, here's the other thing. It's not a goddamn math test. It's not a math test. There's very little math in these exams. So don't try to memorize rule numbers. Don't try to memorize. It's like I'm a history. I love history, but I hate dates. I love history, but I hate dates. And I say, if it was a math test, I couldn't teach this. So that's the way it is. Just focus on big picture. Focus on the big picture first, and then you can narrow down. Because if you understand this stuff, it's not words. It's not, you're not memorizing words. It's you're learning facts. My bigger one on this is, and I'm talking a lot, but have you ever see Suits? I used to say this with him. Mike Ross, his line was, do you have a eidetic memory? No. He goes, well, he has a good memory, but he goes, I read something once, I understand it, and then I never forget it. So the point is, understand this stuff and you won't have a problem. If you can understand it, you'll be fine. If you're trying to memorize it, you run into trouble. That's all. Okay. Let's move it on. Is that it? That's it. Oh, hold on. Oh, you know what it is? I keep you put an email and it goes right to the bottom. Okay. Hold on. Let me clean this up. So, not all Canadian securities are exempt. Not all. Only the only securities that are exempt. Okay. The only Canadian securities that are exempt are munis and federal. That's it. Nothing else is. Okay. So munis and federal government are the only ones that are exempt. They're the only ones. No one else is. Okay. That should help you. Now, why are they under the USA? So they're exempt of the USA, but so are, that's a good question. The federal government ones, well, because I think some of them are, that's a good question. I don't think Canadian government bonds are exempt. They have to register. But I think the idea, I'm not going to look it up. Fuck it, I know it. Federal government immunities are exempt in Canada, right? And then on the state here, because they're registered, they will have to register with the SEC, so they don't have to register here. That's all. I think that's where I go with that. Okay. Right. So don't worry about the little shit. Don't worry. Oh, I got to keep rolling back. Okay. Oh, there. Key uni. There you go. I like it. Key uni. Thank you. Okay, that works. Okay. Okay. Now, failed the 66.
I just responded to Madeline on email also.
Oh, good. Perfect. Okay. Failed the 66 twice. Use it. No, it was the same testing. Okay. Okay. Have you she emailed you, right?
Yep.
Okay. So my big thing is that I think that the best thing to do is to, if you haven't reread the book, read it again. You have time. You have literally a month. So reread the book, okay? Reread the book. Okay. Now. And what's the best thing to do on this? Reread the book, and then when you're done, start doing chapter quizzes. Then, once you're done with that, anything under a 70, you want to reread the section, okay? Anything under 70, you want to reread. And that's what's going to happen is you're going to get an idea of where you're running into trouble. That's the best thing I can say.
Just to highlight this, I think that when you start hitting that 70 mark, I'm curious to know what you got on the two exams. Oh wait, the two exams were 72 and 70. 70.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So when you hit that 70 mark, you're right there. It's just a little bit of fine tweaking. And this is what I go over when I discuss it with people, one-on-one, because everybody's a little bit different. But everybody always thinks it's just one thing, like it's just the options that cause. No, it's always a little bit more than that. And it's like if you got a 50, it's okay, I got to learn all the material. But if you're getting to the 70 mark, you've got a pretty good understanding probably of most of the material, but there's little fine tweaking, like reading the questions a little bit slower, or you hit a certain point where there's a certain topic that you're not comfortable with.
Right.
Like learn that topic. Like I always say with the options, I feel like once people get over their fear of options because they learn it, the rest of the test kind of falls into place.
I agree.
It's the same thing with the 63, 65, and 66.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a little tip or something like that. It's fine tuning in the areas that, like, when you're going over the exam, the practice questions, it's digging deeper into the explanations. It's not taking more and more exams. It's really understanding why you got the question right or you got it wrong.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Perfect. I love that. Okay. Good. I like that. Here we go. Look, I love the vibe. Young, I love the vibe too, baby. Okay. 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 See, now, of course, watch my videos, Gear Grinder. Of course, that's always the answer. No. So now that you're in the 60s, I want you to take 2 days off from taking any tests. And I want you to go back and just read the sections you suck at. Figure out between STC and Kaplan the ones you're bad at. Now remember, not bad because you didn't understand the damn question, but bad because you didn't understand it. You got 17 days. That's a lot of time. That is so much time.
Can I always call him GG69 in my head. Gear Grinder, can you bump up the exam if you start getting higher scores sooner? Because you're 17 days out. I guess that's like 2 weeks. I guess that's about right.
Yeah, but with Kaplan, if he's in mid 60s, there's no reason if you're in mid 60s and Kaplan, you're a week out, you're fine.
Yeah.
So right. So if we move it up, that's one thing. But if he's right there, let's make him rock solid on this.
Put it over the top. Yeah.
Right. So here's what you do: find out what you're doing bad on the quizzes. Take 2 to 3 days. Like, so what today's Thursday, right? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, do no tests. All I want you to do is just read the book over sections you're not good at. And if you still have time, read more chapters. If you read the whole book again, fine. I wouldn't reread the Kaplan book because it takes forever. But if you have STC and you want to read 80% of it again, fine. If you want to read just the lowest 5 sections, do that. And then watch videos to supplement it. That will make a difference. 100% will make a difference. Also, if you want, join the study groups. Go to the Facebook group that we got. I mean, the Facebook group has so many study groups in it. Okay. There's always people going, hey, I want to start a study group. 5 or 6 people answer. That's one thing I'm going to tell you about study groups. Try to ask for 10 people because only 4 people ever show up consistently. Okay. Kind of my birthday parties. I invite a lot of people and nobody shows up.
Best value on YouTube is we've broken it down.
Say that one more time.
The best value on YouTube.
Yes.
The classes.
100%. 100%. You're almost moronic not to do them.
It was like $5-6 a class. Or
yes.
Sometimes.
It works out to be $5 a class. Yeah. This is what I tell Jeff all the time. This is my Costco hot dog.
It's our Costco hot dog. Yeah, bro.
Yes. Never fucking raise these prices. Okay.
We pay no attention to the CPI or inflation.
Right, exactly. We're ignoring. So we are literally, that's a fixed income security. We have a lot of inflation or purchase of our rich with these classes. Okay. So she may email her, but I'm going to say this anyway for everyone. The Friday class at 6 p.m. is for the 66. The 7 p.m. one is at 7. The 8 p.m. one, the 7 is at 7 p.m. The options is at 8. Now understand, I'm going to go through the memberships real quick. Okay. I know you're bored with it, but I want you guys to ask questions before we get out of here. I got a pizza coming now, because at 9:01 I'm shutting this fucker down. No, I'll answer all the questions now. I ordered a chicken parm just now. While you were talking, I decided I went on DoorDash. I am like, I guarantee I'm a VIP at DoorDash. Now, what was I talking about? Oh, so if you join the lowest membership, it's like $5 a month. That's going to be just you get to see the old class videos. If you go up a notch for $19 a month, you get the options videos, my amazing options videos, and the old classes. Remember, anytime you go up, you get everything below it. If you go up to the next level, the Series 65, the serious study method, that's both for the either the 165, 66 class a week or the 7 class. It's the same thing. Doesn't matter. They're all the same thing. That one membership gets you the class. Now, in reality, I have people that go to both. I don't know why, but they do. Then the second highest level is the $50 a month. That's for that is for the options class, the FINRA class, the options videos, and everything below it. And the other one I have for principals is for the 24, the 910, the 4. That's $160 a month, and that's on Sunday nights. And we have another thing coming up. We're going to talk about on Tuesday. Okay.
But the options one, the last one you mentioned, if you think about it, on Friday nights you can go for the 7 at 7, and then go right into the options at 8.
Right.
So it's still pertaining to the same exam.
Yeah.
And then, so you're doing, in a 4-week month, you're getting 8 classes.
Right.
It's $6.
Yeah, 8 classes for $50, which is still around $6 a class. And what you do is, this is the thing, you sign up for that. And then once you pass a 7, I'll try to remind you, but maybe I won't. You lower the membership to $25 a month, and then you have the 66 stuff. And a lot of times you get the group passes the 1, and then they move on to the 66. And then when they pass that, I cry like a bitch because I miss them. Like Erin's back. She's taking the 66, but she's been out of that 7 class and she canceled her membership, I think, just until she got back again. Okay. Right. So I hope that helps a little bit, Madeline, that you can see that if you go to the membership, you see the classes. And here's the thing. If you sign up, you need to put notifications on. So this way, ring that fucking bell. Ding, ding, ding. Ring that fucking bell, because that bell is going to tell you you're going to get a notification, email, and a text message or a push notification with the link for the class. And you can watch. But here's the other thing. Sign up on a laptop or a desktop, because if you do it on the phone, Apple adds 30%, greedy bastards. Now, on my end as a creator, I hate that. But as owning Apple stock, I fucking love it. Oh, so maybe you should sign up on your phone. Okay. Stock's been down a little bit lately. Okay. No, this is good. Small stuff. The small stuff, it seems really nitpicking. I agree. That's the thing. So there are some specifics on the real exam. But again, it's much more about understanding the topics. Sue, I can't wait till you tell me you're done. I am looking forward to that day, and I'm going to play. I'm re-uploading new songs this week. So everyone's going to get new shit to listen to. Although I may leave the cello stuff because I really like them. Okay. Now, Madeline, here's the thing. It's not if you took the exam before, that's fine. I don't care about the weak spots. But your vendor, if you have STC or Kaplan, there has to be something that's weaker than the rest. So look, the manna from heaven is if your lowest 2 sections are mid-70s, go them, get them in the 80s. If the lowest 2 sections are in the 60s, you work on them. But like if your lowest sections are 70s, that's awesome. You're ready. That's all I'm saying. Okay. 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 Yeah, so this is the thing. Don't worry about the 30 versus 45 day shit. The 500 versus 1200, you may have to remember, but for the most part, that's just custody, and it's 500. Also, remember, the bigger number is usually Fed, okay? So it's 500 for state, 1200 for federal. And the retirement stuff, they're not that hard. I'm not going to go through the whole thing now because it's forever, but I have a video. If you can't find my retirement video in the 65 playlist, find it in the 7 one. That's your best bet, okay? And technical analysis on the 65, 66 is much more about maybe they ask you to do no, they're not going to do math. It's just like support, resistance, overbought, oversold, stuff like that. Like technical looks at the charts and the patterns and the stock price, whereas
fundamentals are all numbers.
Thank you very much. Fundamental looks at the company. I'm getting old. Okay. Okay, Troy, I love it. Troy, we're going to see him tomorrow night. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so Gear, don't worry about that too much. But whether I always forget, listen, as I say, if it was a day test, I wouldn't be able to do this. But so control, it's not control people, it's access people. Well, no, so control people they're talking about is a different thing. So on this test, it's going to talk about access people. So if you're access, which means you have access to customers' inside information, or if the firm's primary business is giving as advice, all the partners, officers, directors, and investment advisors are considered access people, which means they have to submit an annual personal securities holdings report, which is probably every 10 days of the year, I don't care. And then the quarterly transaction report, which is quarterly, and it's just a list of all your transactions. They're making sure that you're not doing transactions that would like go against what your client does, or like you're shooting against your client, or front running, stuff like that. So that's why they make, if you're an access person, you have access to customer information, they want to make sure that you are not focus, not looking ahead and trading ahead and shooting against your customers. So they're going to see all your transactions and all your and annual securities holdings report, all your personal securities. Now, mutual funds they don't care about because you can't do that, and treasuries they don't care about. Good luck front running on a treasury. And again, here's the thing: if you work for broker dealer, you're already doing it, right? If you work for broker dealer, you're already submitted your financials. You had to get permission to open an account. You know your statements are going there anyway. This is just if you're working for an IA, not a broker dealer. Troy, I love it. I'm going to see you Friday night. Remember, 6 p.m. Eastern. I always feel bad when people jump on at 9 o'clock at night, and I go, "Oh my God, they're in California." Okay. Just don't overthink it. Just remember, per stirpes is by the branch, which means even if someone in that, like, say you have 3 kids, even if that one person dies before you, their family gets the money. No, and then per capita is by the head. So if you have 3 children, one dies, they lose out. Now, there's per. So what happens is, and they're not going to go heavy into it. So if it's per capita, it can be 2 different ways. It's per my descendants or per my children. So if you do per capita per my children, then you have 3 kids. If they're going to divide it by 3, but if one of them kicks it before you do, then the two split the half. If it's per my descendants, then they split it between all the good. Put the tutor stuff in there. Then they split it between all the living descendants. Okay, everyone gets a piece. But per surplus is literally if you have 3 kids and one goes first, that kid's family is still going to get money. Okay, we're getting near the end. Okay. Now, I want to say something. Look at, do you see Brandon Books? I remember him from LinkedIn. Do you see his profile? That's not a costume. That's a uniform. He was a big time. Okay. If you can figure out what it is, you'll get it. Okay. Taking the 65 next Friday. What study tips you have? I've never talked to him, but I've seen him on LinkedIn a couple of times. And he's like, based on his LinkedIn posts, he's the most positive person I've ever seen. Like, he's very into helping people. It's pretty interesting. Okay.
But then do you really like when somebody's always positive?
What?
Do you like when somebody's always positive?
Yeah, and remember, because I figure you almost have to be. Like, I think I'm positive. I'm just a dick.
You are, but you can't be. Somebody can't be positive all the time. I mean,
no, I agree.
Yeah,
but the thing is, you got to be, right. So, like, sometimes I'm fucking pissed off all day, but I can't do it. My students can't take that, right?
But you accept it and move on. But that doesn't mean that you're positive all the time.
Oh, no. Nobody's positive all the time. I mean, I'm pretty fucking positive. But sometimes I'm positive, I'm pissed. So it is what it
is. Even going back to these exams, let's put it back to the audience here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you're taking an exam, and you let's say you're moving along, and all of a sudden you're getting 75, 78, and then you get a 67.
Right.
Okay, it was a bad exam. It didn't go well. You fix it, figure out what the problem was, and go to the next one.
Right.
It doesn't mean that. Don't lose your momentum, and it's okay to get that. It's okay to feel it a little bit, but use it to go forward. I like the term failing forward.
Yeah. Oh, like the person who lost in the election. Anyway, so now, kidding. Okay. So now, one quick thing. I'm not. This is not. I don't want to get into this, but today Twitter was fucking blowing up today between our president and the guy who just left. My wife is like, she's surprised it lasted 6 months, their relationship. Elon and Trump are going at it all over the fucking place.
Did you see Tesla today, the stock?
Oh, no, my wife bought some, right?
She bought it?
Yeah. Now, she just bought it. It's down to 283, right?
It was down like 14% today.
Yeah, I think she bought it. It's not at the bottom, but like 270 or something like that. I don't know.
See, that scares me when like it's no longer about financials, but political position.
I know.
That gets very dangerous. We're gonna have to talk with your wife.
Yeah, we'll see. She's pretty fucking. She bought 5 shares. She didn't buy a lot.
Yeah, but it's an expensive stock. Yeah, I mean not expensive. It's a high price.
She
stock.
has a fucking account. She has quite a bit of money in that fucking. I didn't know that. It's funny. I trust her implicitly because, I mean, when I turn 79, I won't, because then I know I'm going to die because my term insurance runs out at 80. But until then, I'm probably good. But I give her all my money pretty much. Okay, pretty much. But she invests the shit out of it.
So GG69 is mentioning Trump here. Like I don't understand that how Elon is like always in the White House. I don't understand.
I know, but he's done now. He's kicked out. They basically
in there.
What?
Yeah, I don't think it's like, you know, he's running companies, he's doing this and that.
Now that the problem is it's becoming like somebody made a good point. I don't like Sharon Says So that much. I think she pretends she's middle. She's a creator. My wife thinks she's middle. I'm like, no, she's not middle. But she said, and they say women are too emotional. That was her comment. And I thought it's funny based on the Trump stuff. It's like, wow. But anyway, I'm not going to get into the thing because I am very, like, as I say, I'm a libertarian. And listen to me. This is what I think is going to happen. And I'm going to do a video on this. I think in the next 4 years, you're going to see the Republican Party split and become the two parties. All the moderate liberals, and the central Republicans will create one party. The far left will become whatever. That's a Bernie Sanders thing. And then there'll be the MAGA guys, like the far right, and then like the central Republicans and liberals will be what the old Democratic was in the 90s, where they're much about free speech and stuff like that. We're going to see. I think it's going to splinter after what do you call it? After Trump goes. Okay. Anyway, that's my prediction. I'm not saying anything good or bad. I'm just saying it's going to split. Okay. Now, Kimberly Bella's like, shut the fuck up and answer my question. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, that's fine. Look, so you took your first one, right? So you've been studying with Kaplan, right? No, yeah, you took your first supplemental. They're hard. So if you're doing well on the quizzes and you take your first final 65, that's your base. That's your base, baby. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, that's your start. Okay, keep taking them. Review the shit out of it, guys. Remember, whenever you take a test, it should take you longer to review it than to take it. Brian Mark said a great thing. He goes, it should take you longer to review it than to take it. Okay. Okay. No. So yeah, it's not important. It's the IA. The IA is probably going to file it, but it's filled out by the auditor. That's definitely not testable. Okay. It doesn't. Okay. Lisa! Boom. I love it. Lisa is the bomb. Okay. Lisa, did you get the 24 too? I can't remember if you did that. I remember you got the SA 7 and 6, 66. And that she was a hard worker. She was working. I think she was working all day and doing that stuff. It's crazy. Okay. For some reason, I thought you were taking a 24 too. I don't know why. Or were you floating that in your head? I can't remember. Okay. Okay. So understand, Madeline, this is very simple. Okay. Discounted cash flow is taking and I'm going to say it sounds simple, but it's not. Meaning I'm saying it sounds simple, but it's going to confuse you. It's like $1,000. You're going to say, what's that worth in today's dollars? And the DCF is the math to find that. So you're trying to say, look, $1,000 in 3 years is worth $850. So literally at a 5% return, whatever costs $853 now will cost $1,000 in the future. That's a time value of money. That's what we're doing. Okay. Is your microwave done? Your food done? Okay. So now, I don't know if that's me or you peeping. So now, $1,000 in 3 years is worth $853 today. Don't worry about how to do it. Just know the method is called the discounted cash flow. You're taking the future money and going, okay, $1,000 that's worth $950 the year before that, $907 the year before that, and then $853 this year. So you're just discounting the cash flows, the future flows, to find out what it's worth today, what it should be worth today. That's all. Okay. I get it. Okay. Oh, hold on. Samira. Been a light day for this. Nobody has to deal with it. You get, let's see if it's a good one. I hope it's a good one.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance.
Boom, baby. Samira, that is outstanding. I'll have all new shit next week. Okay, here we go. Got it. The life and out the annuity stuff. Okay, got it. But done. Yeah, so any more questions before I shut her down? You guys can all tell which way I lean, right? So I know that way, but I do think this is going to be a fucking shit show. This fight's going to be a shit show, and he'll. I bet on Kalshi. You know Kalshi, that betting thing I talk about all the time, where I can bet on like Scotty Scheffler wins. I can bet on is Trump going to release the Epstein files, which is now going to be a no. But all this shit, you can bet on literally anything. So one of the bets, I think, forgot what one of the bets was. It was like, will Elon unfollow Trump on Twitter? It's like, I can bet on that shit. Okay. Now, what do you mean, Madeline? What do you mean by that? I'm just trying to fill in space with bullshit. What do you mean by that? Tips, methods? You mean like registering securities? Fair enough. Okay. So we have qualification. Just remember, there's only two to really worry about. Qualification, you're qualified for one state only. Qualification is one state only. You're registered administrator. And if it's not what you're talking about, throw it in the chat. Okay. Qualification is one state only. If you're in more than one state, you have to go in a second state, which means you have to add the SEC. So that's coordination. Because always think qualification is one state. Coordination is more than one state. But you're coordinating between the SEC and the states, not the states. Because remember, once you cross the state line, you have to deal with the SEC. And this is the way I explain it. So Jeff lives in New York. I live in Jersey. If I sat there, if I can smoke weed in New Jersey, in Connecticut, and New York, totally legal. However, what? No, this is a great example, right? So I can smoke weed in all three states. In no way, shape, or form can Jeff leave his state into either Connecticut or Jersey, and at no point will it be illegal to smoke weed. I promise there's a method to what I'm saying. Now, however, if Jeff were to drive from New York to Connecticut, never going to a state where it's just straight there, with his ripping his bong while he's driving, well, that would be illegal too. But once he crosses the state line, he will be violating federal law, and the federal government come after him. So that's why there's a big ass sign on 684 leaving Connecticut. Do not leave with your weed. And I always, there was. I wish I wasn't driving. I would have taken a picture of it. And I swear to God, there's a little old man with a garbage bag under there. I'll take it for you. So
I actually spoke with somebody who worked at a cannabis company.
Yeah.
And logistics are a nightmare getting from one state to another. And that's what the
federal part. Right.
Yeah.
That's the federal part. That's literally what it is. So see, I knew she was talking about the securities. So again, back to this. So if you cross the state line with weed, you are now subject to the federal government. Just like if you sell a security in a second state, you are now subject to the federal government, which is the SEC. Now, do not worry about registration by notification. I just say it's for big ass companies. Notice filing is not registrating. Notice filing is for mutual funds and Reg D. They just send a notice to the state going, hey, we're doing shares in your state. That's all. That's all it is. Okay. You guys got lucky too because my order was delayed. It's on its way now. So when I see that car coming here, shut her down. So notice filing is when they just let the state know they're there. Registration by notification is for big ass securities, but not on an exchange. I haven't seen them test on it yet because nobody does it. It's because you're either going to do qualification, coordination, or notifying. Just one of the three. Very few people do registration by notification. I don't know why. They just don't. I think it's too expensive. Okay. I think that works. We got her done. Not too shabby. Approaching with my order. Perfect time. Okay, everyone. I'm glad you watched my videos. I just did a video on why I didn't do Tuesday night. I thought it was fun. But also check out the 65 playlist because I have some videos about what people are seeing on the exams, like IRMA and QDIA and QDRO. I think I'm gonna throw those videos in they're shorts, like under 3 minutes. I think I'm gonna throw them in the crash course because those are things you want to get at the last minute, like cash versus accrual accounting, stuff like that. Okay, everyone. Lisa, thanks for coming on. Young OGs, thanks for coming on. Madeline, it's gonna work for you. You're gonna get this shit done. Okay, everyone. And Gear Grinder, keep the questions coming. Okay. Madeline, that's the thing. The vendors love to ask that fucking question. Okay. Vendors, they love to ask that goddamn question, which is most complex. Yeah, I guess it's a qualification because you're dealing with a bohunk, like a fucking backwoods like in Idaho, you might be dealing with the governor's brother being the administrator. So I'm just saying, but that's not it. Remember, that's the thing. That's a vendor question, not a real question. The test doesn't care if you know which one's more complicated. They want you to know what the fuck it is. That's all they want you to know. Okay. Anyway, that good? They dropped it off in the back door. I fucking love it. I love when they do that. Okay. I am going to get out of here, guys. I will see you guys. Have a great weekend. Watch the videos. Hopefully some of you join the Zoom tomorrow, which is a Zoom, not a live. And if not, I'll see you next Thursday. Have a good night. And